everyone, my name is Mehek. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are all fine, and like always, I also hope that you guys are reading. Back with the book of the week that I finished. It's Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing by Matthew Perry, our very own Chandler from TV show Friends. Now, 9 months or almost a year back, I didn't really care about Friends or Chandler Bing. I had never watched this show. Yeah, it might come as a surprise to all of you who are watching this video at the moment, but I had never watched Friends. And in fact, I kept wondering what is the fuss about it, why are people crazy about it, and I didn't feel like I'm missing out on something. But my husband insisted, and when we got married, he was like, you have to watch Friends with me. And I was like, okay, I'll do it if you watch DDLJ. So he did his bit, he watched DDLJ for me, and I had to watch Friends. But wow, I just love the show. I finished all the seasons. I love the characters, and I think it's one of the best things that has happened, you know, me watching the Friends show. I owe so much of good times and laughter and fun, and also some of the episodes where I cried. So yeah, I love the series now. I know why the fuss and why people are crazy about it. So yeah, when I saw the book, I was just nearing the end of the season. That's when I, heard about this book about Matthew Perry writing his memoir. And throughout the show, I kept wondering, like in the start, why did Matthew Perry's look kept changing? Suddenly, like he started and he was so handsome, and then suddenly you see him going all weak, and then you see him putting on weight, and I was like, what's happening? That's when my husband, because it's many years back, he was up to date with all the paparazzi in the news and etc. And he told me that no, it's not because he's just losing weight and gaining weight. It's because of the substance and the alcohol addiction that he was going through during that time, and that came quite as a shock to me. So this book is actually a very I would say the correct word is raw, unflinching, like there's no hesitation, absolutely, it's unfiltered, and also a very sad memoir that Matthew Perry, our Chandler, is sharing about his life, about his journey of addiction for alcohol and substance, and how he suffered with self-esteem, and how this addiction basically affected all areas of his life. So that is what the memoir is all about. The memoir starts with Chandler. Matthew is 49 years old. He is in severe abdominal pain. He's rushed to the hospital where he goes into coma for 2 weeks, followed by pneumonia, and then his colon just exploded, and he wakes up in the hospital, and it's all very painful for him. That's when you realize this book is going to be sad and painful because of what all he's going through. And after that, the book basically does not follow any chronological order. Like Matthew keeps jumping between various time frames, I would say. So while we are reading about 49-year-old Matthew in the hospital, the next scene that we read about is Matthew, who is 5 years old. He's on his way to Los Angeles to see his father. The parents have recently, sometime back, they separated, and now he's going to see his father, and he's just a 5 years old guy, and he's tagged as an unaccompanied minor. And he's sitting in the flight. He's very frightened. He's feeling very insecure. And he mentions in this book that how that particular incident, that particular flight that he took, kind of left him with this lifelong feeling of abandonment. That is what Matthew believed. That particular incident really impacted him in the long run. So I think what would be the best idea was that I would just explain to you how these three things are broken down and what the author or Matthew talks about. So it's Friends, Lovers and the Big Terrible Thing. So let's come to the Friends, which is, I think, the elephant in the room. Like, you know, for most of you who thought, like I also thought, that maybe this book had some additional gossips about French show and some behind the scenes. But let me tell you, with regards to the TV show Friends, the book had, I think it is only 18 to 20% of the overall material. What we get to know about Friends is how Matthew talks about just how did he manage, you know, like it was almost like, you know, Friends without Matthew, but he just managed the role in time, and how much of Chandler Bing is Matthew, you know, so similar what all they go through. And yeah, you actually realize reading this book that there is so much similarity. In fact, you know, Matthew shares that when the role was written and he came across this, he read it and he was like, I felt like someone was following me for a year. They noticed me, they noticed the jokes that I was making, and that's exactly what they put in the script. So they were pretty similar, and he really wanted to do this show. Then he talks about, you know, what was the experience of shooting the pilot, the episode, the first season. He talks about his wonderful cast, how good looking they were, how they were always so caring about him. They looked after him, very talented people. And he also mentions, which for those of you who have watched from many years back probably knows this, that he had a really cute, I would say, or a strong crush on Jennifer Aniston, which was obviously not reciprocated. But yeah, he does mention about his crush on Jennifer Aniston. So that's pretty much about Friends that he has mentioned. There's nothing more other than this. No extra gossip or behind the scenes, that's all. Now coming to the lovers part. I mean, I had no idea that Chandler, Matthew Perry, dated Julia Roberts. I mean, the most beautiful woman. How could you, and why would you mess that up? And I remember reading it and I'm like, dude, why? Why did you mess it up? But I think throughout the book, when we read about his relationship after Julia Roberts as well, there has been few women in his life, and every time before they can break up with him, before they can come up and talk about the issues, he has gone and broken up with them, thinking that it is going to happen, so let me just do it, or I'm never going to be enough and I am never going to be good enough, so let me just do it. So that is what his problem has been always. And now finally what the book is majorly about, and the big terrible thing, which talks about his substance and alcohol abuse. So Matthew Perry, just to give you a background, he's grown up in Canada, and he was actually having he was an average student, but he was having a very good career as a tennis player there. And he actually thought that this is something that I would want to do. But then when he was 15, he left his mother and mother's family, and he came to Los Angeles to live with his father, and he thought that he might take his tennis dream to become a tennis star, you know, in Los Angeles, but clearly that didn't happen. And Chandler, or Matthew Perry, decided that he wants to become an actor just like his dad, because his dad during that time, I think this was 1960 or 70s, he was the guy who came in the Old Spice commercial. So Matthew decided that I want to be an actor too. And I think he was first exposed to alcohol when he was 14. I think vodka was something that he had. And by the time he was a teenager in 18 and 20, he was basically drinking a lot. He was missing the auditions. He was missing the gigs. Then this is in the, I think, 1997. 3-4 years after he starred in Friends. I think that was in 94. This was in 97. He was on a movie set, and he went for jet skiing, and that's when he met with an accident. So the doctor who came gave him this pill called Vicodin, which to ease out the pain, because he was in, you know, extremely excruciating pain. And the moment he took the pill, he experienced such a high, and he was so taken by it that the next thing you know, Matthew was taking 55 pills of Vicodin in a day, which is absolutely crazy. thereafter, by his late, I think 30s, he was taking these 55 pills a day. He was having 2 quarters of vodka every day. So by late 30s, he was completely and painfully an addict who was doing a lot of substance abuse, and it was crazy. Like, you read about it and you would just wonder that why a guy who had so much fame, wealth, why would he mess it up? And it's not like that he never tried to get better. So you read about the entire journey. He used to ask for help. He took the support of his father. He had caring friends. He went to rehab so many times, and I think the book says that he, I think 65 times he went for detox, and he tried so many things, but it just didn't help. When things were better, he used to get high. When things were not better, he used to get high. And amidst all this, he kept buying new cars and new houses just to fill that void that he was experiencing. But no amount of wealth or fame really helped him, because every time, he got up and he wanted to do better, he just went back to his pills and alcohol, which was actually very sad. You feel so bad for what he was going through. And yeah, so this thereafter, the memoir pretty much talks about his struggle to kind of come out of this addiction. You also read about, like I said, about his relationships with family, with lovers. We also read something about his career, because he mentions about the different TV shows and the movies that he did. So yeah, this is pretty much what the memoir is all about by Matthew Perry. My only issue was that it sounded so repetitive at certain stages. Like, I felt like I was reading the same information again and again, and yeah, so that was my only issue with the book. But I think I would definitely recommend this raw memoir, because if you're looking for gossips on friends, do not pick this. But if you're looking to read about someone's journey, how they came out of this addiction, the courage that they showed, the issues that they had, then I think this is the read for you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to see you guys next week with another title. Till then, take care. Bye bye.